Hello, hello, this is ArseyRC and welcome back to another episode on the AthosCraft server Season 2. So, you guys recognize where I am? Maybe, maybe not. So this is the original village of Season 2 where myself, Lyra, and Job had set up our camp. And so, why am I back here? I haven't been back here for a while, but what I'm here for is these guys right here. So, as you might have seen by the slightly altered introduction to the video today, Halloween is just around the corner. And so we are going to have our traditional Halloween builds. Now, the first season we had on the AthosCraft server, we started right before Halloween, so we didn't have a lot of time to actually get a Halloween decoration up, but we actually did some really good jobs, and I'll probably put some screenshots in the video here for you to see what we did in Season 1. We have lots of time this season, and we've got lots of people who are very enthusiastic about Halloween, and so we are going to designate a small area on the server to allow anybody they want to build Halloween builds. And the theme this year is going to be Halloween Town. So we're going to build a little town, Halloween, and we can have statues and haunted houses and amusement rides and witches in the sky and all kinds of things. Imagination's the limit. We're not going to restrict any builds. Just let your imagination go wild. But anyways, in the meantime, we need to start gathering our resources and getting ready for it. So I want to get lots of these guys. And as you can see, our original farm really didn't produce many of these things. So what I need to do is build an industrial-sized pumpkin farm so that I can grow as many of these as quickly as possible to get lots of supplies ready for the Halloween builds. A bunch of pumpkins. So we don't need the melons, we just need the pumpkins for now. Alright, so we've got the pumpkins there. Now we're going to go out, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to follow lead of somebody else I got the idea from, which is Mumbo Jumbo, and I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He's created a fairly modern city in Hermitcraft Season 6, and inside some of those buildings, he's created some industrial farms. And I think I'm going to take advantage of the modern city that I'm currently building and make a building that is going to house a huge pumpkin farm. So that's the goal for today. In addition to that, we're going to go and designate an area for the Halloween build and choose an area, mark it out, and then everybody knows where we're going. We'll set up a portal for that area, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here is the basic idea behind what I want to do for the pumpkin farm. So it's actually a fairly simple design, and very extremely cheap too. Just need a couple pieces of dirt, a water source, which can double as a water run. You need a standard piston, a redstone torch, and a piece of redstone dust, and some kind of lighting source that's a block. So a torch doesn't work so great here because there's a possibility that the pumpkin, when it gets broken, will end up in that spot. So it's better if it's a solid block color. And then the other aspect is you can do this. So now this here should probably be glass, of which I don't have any on me right now, but that's sort of the idea, that as soon as this thing grows, pumpkin will grow in this spot right here. Now, since you have a solid block, the redstone will actually power the pumpkin itself, which powers all blocks beside it, which would include the piston. The piston will break the pumpkin, which will unpower the piston and close it and allow the next pumpkin to grow again. So this is actually a fairly efficient and very cheap farm. So now all we're going to do is we're going to mass produce this thing. We're probably going to I'm going to guess we can have about 30 or 40 plants. So, and see how many pumpkins we get and how fast we get. So, we're going to go ahead and tear this down. This was our little test. So, let's time lapse it. Well, one of the things I just realized is that the pumpkins, as they grow and the pistons knock them off, they're not all falling into the water stream. So what that means is I probably have to add some railroad tracks underneath the plants so that if the pumpkins sit right there, that I can actually pick them up with the mine carts. And I've already done 2 layers. I'm hoping I can fit this in without having to tear the second layer off and having to start again. So we're going to go ahead and work forward and see if we can fit the railroad tracks right in this space here. So if I go ahead and put some black blocks right along in here, I could probably put the railroad carts on here. The only thing I have to worry about is, can I power the rails without having the redstone impact the pistons? So let's see what we can do there. So as you can see now, I've got a bunch of the rails in. It took me a couple tries. I put them too low first, and I didn't have to move the second level. So the mine carts are going in nice and smooth underneath right beside the ice. Then I added some hoppers here that will fill into the chest so that we can gather the stuff that comes from the center drops. We will have to put an unloader system for the mine carts afterwards, but for now, we've got them at least going into the minecart. We can grab them once we're done building. I'm going to follow the Bohemian's path here because I found an area earlier that I thought would be good. Here it is here. So there's a little tiny swamp area here that Vizzo had adopted early on in the season, and she was creating some villagers here, little villager birthing area. But as I've shown in a previous video, she has moved out, and so she's even put signs here saying, free space, take it away. So I think this is a perfect area in order to do the competition. Now, you go back into your home. There you go. So we're going to take this area, and she's already got a nether portal here. So we're going to use that nether portal and hook this up to the nether hub. And then we're going to outline this particular area. So the first thing we're going to do here is probably clean up this area and get rid of a lot of this build that she has here. Okay, so I have scouted out the area, and I think I've chosen a pretty good area, and it's a good size as well. So you can see the pumpkins on the ground here. So the area that where the build of the city is going to be is surrounding the swamp, but it does border Bohemian's trail here, a path. And as you can see, so it's a fairly good sized area where we can do. Now the people who own wood shops, I'm hoping you're going to come over and clear out a bunch of the trees so we can open this up. No limitations on filling in the water. Like, let's go ahead and fill in the water and make sure that we're building a nice village. And so yeah, this is the center of the area here. And then where the pumpkins are was just sort of roughly outlining it. It's not square. It's not in any shape or form. We do not need to stay within the borders, but just roughly outlining it. So the next thing we have to do is to gather the portal and see where this portal actually goes to in the nether. So let's go through. So the coordinates of the portal here are -1237 and -242. So we're going to take that and we're going to divide it by 8. Alright, so this I can tell right away. I can do math in my head here. So this is going to be -30.25. And the 1200 will be 150. So 154. So -154.625, I believe, are going to be the coordinates. That's approximately where in the nether we need to build the portal, or to make sure that the one, if there is one that exists, is approximately there. Alright, let's go in. And no, the portal actually links up to my original base. So we're going to have to go to those coordinates. We're going to have to go to -155 approximately and -30 in the nether and build a new portal at that location. It looks like we're going to have some friends. Are you going to be in my way? Where are you hiding? Oh, there you are. Alright. Actually, we can go out here and kill him. Oh, that was a close shot. Oh, yeah. Avoid the fireball, but walk into the fire. That was really, really good. Alright, so we gotta go to -154. Oh, get rid of the wither skeleton before we get ourselves in trouble there. Get rid of that friend. Okay, so, again, -30. So right about here. And -154. So that's going to be this direction. Alright. So 154. It looks like it's going to be that portal right there. Yeah, it is going to be that portal. Alright, so we're going to have to spawn-proof that area so we don't get wither skeletons spawning. Because that is literally exactly where I just killed that wither skeleton. So we want to make sure that that's not going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and relight this portal. Do I have... Oh, I don't have any flint and steel with me. Maybe I have some in here. Let me go and check. And no, I don't. Alright, let me go get some flint and steel and I'll be right back. So we're going to go ahead and relight that. And let's pick up this stuff before we lose it. Oh, we might have to drop something here. What do we got? Room in here. Let's go ahead and throw the buckets in here. I won't need those for a bit. And some gunpowder. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we've got this portal. Let's see if it's linked up properly. And there we go. Alright, so that portal is the right portal. So what we're going to have to do is decorate that up a bit. I think what we can do, just for now, we'll use the jack-o'-lanterns to decorate it. And that will also double as providing us this light so we don't get wither skeletons spawning here, like that guy. Because most people here don't like the wither skeletons, and they could cause us some issues. So we're going to go ahead and light this area up using jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, so we have the portal ready to go. As you see, we've just put a few jack-o'-lanterns here, so people will obviously know what it's for and can't miss it. And we've connected this up to the hub here. This is actually where my original base is there, along with Job and Lyra. And then right if we run down the little red aisle here, and we turn to the right, I believe. Nope. Turn to the left, there's the hub. So to get to the Halloween area there, we're going to go from the main shopping area. We're going to head towards the pixel art area. We're going to take the first junction, and let's put a pumpkin right here. I know this is going to interfere with the hub design, but We're gonna put the pumpkin right there, just to say, hey, this is where the hub is, or this is where the Halloween builds are going to be. And then we'll go ahead right there and put a pumpkin there. And therefore, people can follow the pumpkins right to the Halloween build area and allow them to build whatever they want. Let's be creative. Let's work together as a community and come up with some fantastic builds. The other thing is the pixel art competition's about to come to an end. We did extend the deadline until October 1st so that a couple people can get their builds in as they were away from the server for a few days. So that is all the time I have for today. If you like what you saw today, hit that like button, hit subscribe to see some great content in the future, and we'll see you in the next one.